Yes, dear students, in this particular session, I will discuss about the module number 3, which is nothing but the slope stability. Okay, so these are the contents which are included in this particular module. So let me take an incident which took place in Himachal Pradesh. So due to which the national highway blocked near Jakri in Rampur area of Shimla district following heavy rainfall. So it was a landslide over there. Okay, recently it was reported on July 12th, 2021. Okay, so the landslide which is caused due to the failure of a slope over there. Okay, so here as we are talking about the slope stability, so failure of the natural slope in this particular case. Okay, so that is nothing but the landslide and even man-made slopes has resulted in much death and destruction, maybe destruction of property also. So it is nothing but what? So this is why we have to give much importance to this slope stability aspect. Okay, now let us take, or let us the slope, let us understand first. Okay, so slope is nothing but what? An exposed ground surface that extends at an angle beta. Okay, at an angle beta with the horizontal, that is called as slope. Okay, so it is nothing but what? An exposed surface, as it is indicated here in this diagram. Okay, it is an exposed surface. Okay, so which is having an angle of inclination, which is nothing but what? Beta, which is called as slope angle with respect to horizontal. Okay, with respect to horizontal. So this is called as typical slope, which is shown in this particular figure. Okay, so then why these slopes are necessary? Why these slopes are necessary? So for the construction of highway and railway, so if the alignment passes through a hilly terrain, so then we need to cut that particular section. For example, this is a hill section, so that we need to cut and we need to pass our highway or railway alignment through that particular section. So this is one of the reason why they are needed. So the second one is nothing but an embankment. Okay, embankment construction. So it is nothing but what? Not only cut portion. So for example, if we require an embankment or earth fill like this. Okay, so there also we require the slope. Okay, slope. Then earthen dams. I think you might have seen some of the earthen dams. Okay, so for impounding water, they will be usually constructed. Okay, so it is nothing but, for example, this is the upstream. Okay, and this is the downstream, right? So there you can see the slope. Okay, upstream slope, downstream slope. Okay, so it is nothing but what? To maintain that geometrical shape of the embankment, so we need to provide the safe slope on both sides. Okay, so then levees and canals. So levees are nothing but these are the small embankments which are constructed to impound the water again. So that means we are if we don't want the water to overtop, or it is nothing but to move uh, and enter to whatever the area. So for example, it is a cultivated land. We are not having the intention of allowing the water to pass through that cultivated land. So we need to retain that water. So then levees can be constructed. Okay, it is nothing but just like a small embankment. It acts like a barrier. Okay, water barrier structure. Okay, so then canals. So canals are nothing but these are nothing but what? The water conveys structures, okay, water conveyance structures. So it is nothing but what, through these canals, so water can be allowed to many purpose. So it is nothing but to satisfy many purpose, say like irrigation purpose or navigation purpose or power generation purpose, etc., etc. So it is nothing but what, so the levees and canals. So uh, including this, we have got the natural slopes also. Natural slopes in the sense there are many hills, okay, you might have seen, okay, in your surrounding. So these are nothing but having the natural slopes, okay, natural slopes which are exposed surface having an angle, inclination angle with respect to horizontal, okay. So this is nothing but what, the natural slope, okay. In addition to the uh, artificial slopes or the man-made slopes, we have got the natural slopes also. So we have not created, but due to um, the formation, geological formation, it might have resulted into a slope, okay. So then the type of the slope, okay, type of the slope. So there are two types, okay. If you take their uh, origin or the how they have formed, okay, the formation as per taken into consideration. So we have got man-made slopes, okay, and natural slopes. So man-made slopes are the slopes of earth structures that results from the human construction activity. Just like in the previous slide I was telling about some of the embankments or the cuts which are to be made along the hilly terrain, okay, across the hilly terrain portion, okay. So then to lay our railway lines, to build the roads, to build the canals, and the slopes of earthen dams built to store the water, okay. Whereas the natural slopes are formed by continuous process of erosion and deposition of natural agencies. They may be aggregates, boulders, or the silt, debris, etc., which are taken by the various agents. So they will be disposing in a particular area. So then, due to which we can, due to this accumulation of the materials continuously, we can find at the end of the day there is a huge heap or in the form of a slope, uh, geological formation that may be found in that particular area, okay. So natural slopes include river banks also and hillsides, as I said, okay. So these are some of the typical examples of natural slopes. So if a slope you are taking, it is nothing but what, it is a stable slope, okay, stable slope, okay. So having a suitable or a quite safe slope angle beta provided with the slope angle, safe slope angle at the toe portion. So this is nothing but what, the toe portion, which is indicated here in the figure A, okay, which is nothing but what, in the case of a cohesive material, okay. So now if if at all this slope has to be filled, in what way, on what manner this slope can be filled. So uh, this is shown, okay, indicated in the figure B. That is nothing but what, the slip surface. So slip surface in the sense the huge mass of the soil uh, which is undergoing sliding here, as you can see this dotted line which indicates the slided portion, okay. This nothing but what, this much portion is about to slide down, okay. So and may cause the landslide consequently, okay. So on the verge of sliding is nothing but what, just before that, okay, just before that the failure to be occurred. So a, a small tension crack which may be developed initially, okay, small tension crack which may be developed initially. So then due to the excessive rainfall or the seepage, water can accumulate into this tension cracks and builds up some more pressure, okay. So due to this what is going to happen, so there are small lateral cracks which are going to be propagated in this particular direction, okay. You might have seen cracks, okay. So then, uh, as a consequence, So it is nothing but what slowly, so it can develop some more uh, failure indications. Okay, indications, maybe the cracks which may be propagated even to up to the toe portions also it may reach. So once it is entirely unstable, so then the weight of this weight, so which is there in the this particular section, okay, this will be fade. Okay, so it is nothing but what the section entirely it slides down, okay, forming the heave of material at the toe portion. There you can see the heave. Okay, so large heave, ultimately there is a catastrophic landslide, okay, which may cause uh, severe damage. Okay, so it is nothing but what uh, the slope, how it fails. Okay, how it fails. So what are the indications, so that I have indicated, discussed in this particular slide. Okay, right. Now what are the types of the slopes? Again, if we take uh, continue our discussion, so there are few more types. Okay, so there is nothing but infinite slopes, okay, and finite slopes. Okay, infinite slopes and finite slopes. So infinite slopes, as the name indicates, it is a very large in extent, theoretically infinite. Okay, and properties of the soil will be same at identical depths. So this is very much important. Properties of the soil, if you take the specific gravity, if you take the shear strength, if you take the cohesion, if you take the angle of interpolation, everything is going to be identical, uh, or it is going to be same at identical depths. So for example, this uh, slope surface if you are taking, okay, slope surface if you are taking, so it is nothing but what, having the beta angle with respect to horizontal. Okay, so identical depths in the sense, for example, you take consider z depth z. Okay, identical same depth z. So if you measure the specific gravity over here, it will be same. It will, you measure the specific gravity over here, it will be same. If you measure the shear strength of the soil, it will be same. Shear strength also will be same. Density also same. Density also same. Cohesion also same. Here also cohesion is going to be same, and angle of internal friction phi is also going to be same. Okay, so this is how the an infinite slope. But these are concepts which I am discussing here. This fits on the paper only. Okay, this is true uh, on paper. So it is nothing but what, no slope which are found in nature is an infinite slope. Okay, so every slope you can see in the nature, you can find in the nature, so it is nothing but what, finite slope only. Okay, finite slope only, because soil is not a factory made material, so the property of the soil can alter, can go, okay, uh, variations in at various depths. Okay, maybe specific gravity, if you take 7 even centimeter by centimeter, if you um, uh, collect the data, so it is nothing but the sample, okay, at a depth, various depths, so you can find a small variations there also. So it is nothing but what, it's all about the practical aspect. Okay, and the second thing is nothing but what, the slip surface. Okay, the failure surface which you are finding in the infinite slope, which runs almost parallel with respect to the slope surface. So this is nothing but what, the slope surface. Okay, whereas the bottom one, it is nothing but what, slip plane. Okay, slip plane parallel to ground surface. Which, so this aspect or this failure condition which will not be seen in the almost all the conditions. So it is nothing but what, the 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 slip plane which may not run parallel to the ground surface. Okay, now the finite slopes, coming to the finite slopes, as the name indicates, it is a limited one in extent, and the properties of soil will not be same at identical depths. Okay, so that the slip surface will be curved. Okay, slip surface which I had indicated in the previous slide, you might have seen. Okay, So this is nothing but what initially this was the slope having an angle beta, okay, or alpha you take, okay, no matter you are using the different um, symbols for that. Okay, normally beta we can take. Okay, no, do not confuse with that alpha or beta. So it is nothing but slope angle only. Okay, do not get confusion. So here, if you take the finite slopes, so it is nothing but what the slope the slip plane is going to be curved one. Okay, slip plane is going to be curved one. Okay, so it is nothing but what not like this, like this. We are not going to chop this section with the knife. So it is all about the natural phenomenon occurring there. So it is going to be having some curvature. Okay, so this is nothing but what the during the slope failure is going to happen. Okay, this is nothing but the finite slopes, right? Yes, next is nothing but the slope failure triggering mechanisms. So here some of the reasons why oftenly a slope will fail. So these are the some of the reasons which are mentioned here in this particular slide as you can go through. So first is nothing but intense or heavy rainfall or the rainfall with higher intensity. So is the one of the probable reason. The second one is nothing but water level change in the groundwater table or fluctuation in the groundwater table may cause a change in the pore water pressure. So due to this change in the pore water pressure, so there exists the variation in shear strength, right? The third one is nothing but the seepage water flow, the constant or steady seepage, which leads to the slow failure condition. Then volcanic eruption, okay. So then earthquake shaking, the ground movement, then human activity like mining activities and all. So these are the some of the uh, triggering mechanisms, so which ultimately leads to slow failure, slow failure, right? Yes. So those are the mechanisms. Now, if we take the causes of slow failure, so then these are some of the causes. So due to which the slope oftenly fails. Okay. So first is nothing but erosion. So it is nothing but the two very important agents which are causing the erosions are erosion is nothing but uh, wind flowing water which causes the erosion of the top surface. Okay, so these are the two agents which are causing the erosion. Okay, the second one is nothing but the steady seepage, as I said already. So it is nothing but the seepage forces in the sloping direction add to the gravity forces uh, and make the slope susceptible to instability. The pore water pressure decrease the shear strength normally, which I had explained in the previous slide, right? Third one is nothing but the sudden drawdown. So here also there is nothing but a sudden drawdown ultimately changes the unit weight of the soil. So it is nothing but what due to the saturated unit weight, the shear stresses will be more and shearing resistance which decreases due to the pore water pressure that does not dissipate quickly. Okay, so this is one of the probable reason. So due to which a slope can fail. Okay. So the next one is nothing but the rainfall, long duration rainfall, which may saturate, soften, and erode the soil. That means topsoil, and water can enter into the existing cracks which are present over the surface of the slope and may weaken the underlying soil layers, leading to a failure. So it is nothing but what the rainfall, how it affects the or how it triggers slope failure, right? Moving further, there are other causes which may lead to the slow failure. So it is nothing but an earthquake. Okay. So they induce the dynamic shear forces. In addition, there is a sudden buildup of pore water pressure. Abruptly the pore water pressure will be increasing, okay, and this reduces the available shear strength, okay. So then external loading, so additional loads placed on the top of the slope increases the gravitational forces that may cause the slope to fail. So if you take the uh, measures to control or avoid the slope failure, so there is one method by the help of which the slope failure can be avoided. So it is nothing but what, for example, this is the slope you are taking. So then uh, normally benching is done. So it is nothing but what, the cut is to be made like this along the section. So just it is to uh, remove this whatever the this much soil masses, and thereby the gravitational forces which will be reduced, okay. This force, this much section which will be removed, which will be cut, and that much amount of the gravitational force which will be reduced, ultimately the chances of failure which can be avoided there, okay. So this is one of the uh, the the preventive measure, okay. So it is nothing but what, which prevents the a slope from undergoing any kind of failure, okay. The next is nothing but construction activities at the toe of the slope. So which may be having the, there's nothing but what, just now in the previous slide I was discussing about the while aligning the railway embankment or the highway embankment. So there oftenly we are cutting the particular section of hillside, okay. So there, if the angle of the slope is very much steep, okay, very much steep, so then there may be chances of slope failure, okay. There may be chances of slope failure. So these are some of the reasons why a slope will fail, okay. So due to these circumstances, normally a slope will fail, and it may cause catastrophic failure, which may cause uh, a huge damage to the property, as well as it may take more lives, okay. So it is nothing but what, the causes of the slope failure, right? Now coming to the elements which are involved in the slope, okay. So here if we take a typical slope section, okay, typical slope section, so it is nothing but what, so this is the slope section which I am taking now, okay. And this is nothing but the dotted line indicates the slip or the failure surface, and the inside whatever the soil mass which is there, which is called as what, sliding mass, okay. The slope angle is nothing but beta, okay. So then the bottom portion, this one is called as toe of the slope, and this is about the slope portion, okay. And this is nothing but what, the crest of the slope, okay, crest of the slope. Now for the analysis purpose, okay, analysis purpose, so if we join the point B, okay, it is nothing but what, if we extend the point B, okay, with a straight line, and point from point A, if you are drawing another straight line, okay. So it is nothing but what, just extending, so that a common intersection point will be getting, okay. So if we take this two lines, so it is nothing but what, let it be OB and OA of same distance, say it is nothing but uh, R R. So then if we could draw an arc for the analysis purpose I am taking, so it is nothing but what, so this slip surface represents the arc of a circle then, okay, arc of a circle whose center is at O, this point, okay, and having the radius this much, okay. So it is nothing but for what, for the analysis purpose, especially in the case of the method of slices, we will be taking this assumption, okay. So it is nothing but what, the slip surface or the failure surface we are considering as it is an arc of a circle, okay, arc of a circle, okay. So this is regarding the elements which are involved in the slope stability. Okay. So moving further, different elements which are just now have explained. So it is again it is taken here in this particular slide. Just we will uh, glance over these elements. Okay. So slip or failure zone, it is a thin zone of soil that reaches the critical state or the residual state and results in movement of the upper soil mass. Okay. Then the second one is nothing but slip plane or the failure plane or slip surface or the failure surface. It is the surface of sliding. Okay, it is the surface of sliding, just it is the surface of sliding. Then sliding mass, it is the mass of the soil within the slip plane and the ground surface. Slope angle is nothing but it is the angle of inclination of a slope to the horizontal. Okay. So, for example, 2 is to 1, horizontal is to vertical. Okay, that we have to specify. Okay, horizontal is to vertical. So, it is regarding the slope angle. Either it is nothing but in terms of degree normally, or it is nothing but what in terms of slope. So, we can get the particular angle at which the slope is inclined, okay, with respect to the horizontal, right? So these are regarding some of the elements which are to be considered. Now moving further, the types of failure, this is very much important aspect when we take the slope stability into our discussion. So this is very much important. We have to understand first what are the kinds of failure that the slope can fail. Okay. So first one is nothing but the face failure, the second one is nothing but toe failure, and the third one is nothing but the base failure. Okay, face failure is also regarded as the slope failure. Now, in the next slide, we will discuss about these failures. Right, the face failure. The face failure, whenever you are dealing with this particular failure, so we have to understand regarding the section of the failure surface or the failure plane uh, across which it passes through. Okay, across this particular in this particular slope section where it passes through. Uh, so is that becomes very much important. So with the help of which we can identify which kind of failure it is. Okay, the first one is nothing but the face failure. Now if we take the slip surface, okay, it is nothing but the arc, as I said already. So if this arc, if it passes through the face of the slope, okay, this is nothing but what, the face of the slope. Okay, so if it passes through this face of the slope, okay, so it cuts the face of the slope, so then we are calling such a failures are as a face failure or the slope failure. Okay, uh, where it is an indication that the soil at this particular portion, that means that is nothing but at the toe, okay, it is sufficiently strong. So that is nothing but what the shear strength about this particular point is very much relatively higher compared to the shear strength at this particular zone, okay, at this particular region. So that's why the failure takes place in that fashion. Okay, so this is regarding what the face failure. Yes, moving further, now the next one is nothing but the toe failure. Okay, toe failure. So oftenly this kind of the failure takes place when the slip surface in the form of arc of a circle passes through the toe portion. Okay, passes through the toe. So which tells that, or which indicates that the soil which is at this portion, okay, at this portion, okay, so it is nothing but called as base, okay, base of the slope. Okay, this is nothing but base of the slope. It is relatively strong compared to the soil at this particular portion. So that means the shear strength, if you take tau, okay, shear strength tau, it is relatively higher compared to the toe at the face portion. Okay, so it's nothing but face portion, and this is nothing but the base portion. Okay, so shear strength at base portion is relatively more compared to the toe at face. Okay, shear strength at face portion. Okay, so this is how This is that is why the arc passes through this particular portion. That is nothing but the toe portion, right? The last one is nothing but what the base failure. So as the name itself implies, so it is nothing but what the arc of a circle, or it is nothing but what the slip surface or the failure arc passes through ultimately the base. So this is nothing but what the base. Okay. So this portion or this failure occurs when the soil below the toe is relatively weak and soft. Okay, so this is nothing but this is the portion which is called as what? Toe portion, right? So this is called as face, right? So the portion of the soil which is there below the toe, okay, below the toe, which is relatively weak and soft. So this is the this is the reason. Okay, so why the failure takes place, or why the base failure takes place in a slope. Okay, so it is nothing but what the reason why the base failure oftenly it is observed. Okay, the next one is nothing but the assumptions of stability of slope. So as per the stability of slopes are concerned, okay, so these are the some of the assumptions uh, which are useful for solving the numericals which are related to the slopes, and which may be practically helpful in understanding the criteria, various criteria in determining the factor of safety uh, in the case of the slope. Okay, so let us see now, and let us try to understand what are those the assumptions. Okay, so assumption number one, it is assumed that the stress system is two-dimensional, particularly in while dealing with the slope stability problems. So we assume that the stress system is two-dimensional. Okay, that means the stresses in the third direction, that is nothing but the perpendicular to the soil mass section. So the soil mass section which is indicated here, so this is nothing but the sliding soil mass, or in the form of wedge, what we can call normally. So perpendicular means in this particular direction. Okay, it is nothing but uh, perpendicular to the plane of the screen, what I am showing now. Okay, so this arrow, so the stresses which are in that particular direction, okay, so that we are not considering, so that are uh, considered as zero. That is nothing but what the two-dimensional stress system. Okay, the second one is nothing but the Coulomb equation. So normally we use the in the shear strength, determination of shear strength, we use this kind of equation. Tau is equal to C plus uh, sigma tan phi. Okay, sigma tan phi. Okay, sigma tan phi. Tau is equal to C plus sigma tan phi. If you remember this equation during the basic geotechnical engineering uh, subject, or studying that as a particular subject, you might have undergone this particular equation, that is tau is equal to C plus sigma tan phi, very popular equation, particularly in the shear strength. Okay, so this particular equation called as Coulomb's equation, which holds good. Okay, and the shear strength parameter, we assume that the shear strength parameters like C and phi are well known. Then third assumption is that it is also assumed that the seepage conditions and water levels are known, and that the pore water pressure can be calculated. Okay, at any instance, so we can calculate the pore water pressure, uh, assuming the seepage conditions as well as the water levels across this particular section. Okay. Fourth one, shearing strains are large enough at all points of the critical surface to mobilize all available shear strength. Okay, so that is very much important. So in order to mobilize the shear strength which is required to avoid the failure. Okay, so it is nothing but for that. So we are assuming that shearing strains are large enough. Okay, large enough. So that is nothing but uh, at failure or before failure. Okay, so the shear strains which are found is of higher magnitude. It is of the peak values, what we can call. Okay, the upper levels which will be reached. The upper levels of shear strains which are reached on the during the failure. Okay, that is at the failure, at the instance of failure, what we can say. Fifth one, depending upon the method of analysis, some additional assumptions are made regarding the magnitude and distribution of forces along various planes. So whatever the methods you are using for analysis of slope, for example, you use method of slices. Okay, you use Fellinius method, you use Bishop simplified circle method, etc. So whatever the methods you use, according to that method we have to adopt the we have to use the that magnitude and distribution of forces, okay, along various planes. So this is regarding what the assumptions which are useful while carrying out the stability analysis of slope. Okay. So moving forward in the analysis of slopes, so normally as it is analysis, we have to find the factor of safety in each case. Then only we can decide a slope provided is safe or not. Okay. In so factor of safety of a slope is defined as the ratio of average shear strength. So it is nothing but tau f, that is F means failure. Okay, tau means shear strength of a soil to the average shear stress tau developed along the potential failure surface. Okay, potential failure surface in the sense, for example, this is the slope. Okay, and this is the slip circle or failure arc. So whatever the shear stresses which are developed here in this particular direction. So it is nothing but what? The shear stresses will be acting in this particular direction, whereas strength will be acting against this particular direction. Okay, to counteract the stresses, strength is going to be developed. So that's what the slope will become ultimately stable. Okay, so now you need to understand at this moment. So if stresses are overcoming the strength, shear strength, okay, stresses which are developed there, shear stresses which are overcoming the shear stress, okay, uh, shear strength of the soil. So then only the failure will occur. So it leads to failure condition. If strength is adequate, greater compared to the stresses which are developed there, okay, so then failure will not occur. Okay, so on other hand, the we can say that the slope is still stable. Okay, stable slope. So as per this definition of factor of safety, so the ratio which is mentioned here, factor of safety is equal to tau f by tau. You need to remember, where tau f is nothing but the failure shear strength, or it is nothing but the average shear strength. Okay, at failure, so it is nothing but what? The maximum or the peak value of the shear strength which will be observed normally. Okay, so whereas the tau is nothing but what? The stresses which are developed, okay, along the potential failure surface. Along the potential failure surface means this dotted, along the dotted arc or the section. Okay, so there are several definitions, other definitions of factor of safety also. We have to know all these definitions of factor of safety. Now, if you take the shear strength of the soil, okay, it is given by this particular equation as I already explained in the previous slides. So, tau f is equal to C plus sigma tan phi, uh, where C is nothing but cohesion and sigma is nothing but normal stress and phi is nothing but angle of internal friction. Angle of internal friction. Okay. Uh, now, if we take the mobilized shear strength, okay, mobilized shear strength. So then this F, it will be replaced by M. Okay, mobilized one. So tau M is equal to Cm plus sigma tan phi m. Okay, where Cm and phi m are the cohesion and angle of internal friction that develop along the potential failure surface. Along the potential failure. This is very much important sentence. Along the potential failure surface. So that's what they call. They are called as mobilized values of cohesion and mobilized value of angle of friction or angle of internal friction respectively. Okay, mobilized in the sense which develop along the potential failure surface. Okay, potential failure surface. So then factor of safety, as you know, tau f. Okay, if you remember the previous definition, which is nothing but tau f divided by tau. Okay, so tau f is nothing but c plus sigma tan phi, which is indicated in the numerator, and in the denominator, that is tau value which is written over there, cm plus tau m value. Tau m is nothing but tau mobilized shear strength. Okay, the failure shear stress divided by mobilized shear strength. Okay, cm plus sigma tan phi m in the denominator. So this is the other definition of factor of safety. Okay, this you need to remember, right? Now, moving forward, there are other definitions of factor of safety also. So there is a, if you take the cohesion into consideration, so FC we are taking. FC is nothing but the factor of safety with respect to cohesion is taken as uh, cohesion. It is nothing but the cohesion at failure divided by CM. CM is nothing but what? The mobilized cohesion. Okay, mobilized cohesion. So, or we can call C is nothing but ultimate cohesion to mobilized cohesion. Okay. Now, similarly, if you take the uh, factor of safety with respect to friction or angle of internal friction, F5. Okay, this is Fc and this is F5 is equal to tan pi divided by tan pi m. Okay, tan pi divided by tan pi m. So you need to remember, obviously some problems here and there will be asked on the factor of safety. This is very much important. Okay, when Fc becomes equal to F5, when Fc becomes equal to F5, so it is nothing but what? Both are, that is nothing but a factor of safety with respect to strength. Okay, we are equating, so it's nothing but cohesive strength. Here it is nothing but friction. Okay, the factor of safety with respect to friction. Now if I am equating both, so C by Cm, okay, this form will be getting C by Cm is equal to tan pi divided by tan pi m. Okay, tan pi divided by tan pi m. Okay, so then it becomes, so it is nothing but what? The factor of safety becomes equal to Fc is equal to F5. So it is nothing but the factor of safety. If you take uh, based on the cohesion criteria or based on the angle of friction criteria, both will be same. Okay, so it is nothing but what? The factor of safety only. We are calling it as factor of safety only. Okay, either ways you can take whichever is available to us. So cohesion, if it is available, cohesion you can take and you can refer as that is the factor of safety. If it's the angle of internal friction you are taking, so then we are also called it as factor of safety only. Okay, so now in general, okay, in general, factor of safety when becomes equal to 1, okay, factor of safety when becomes equal to 1, the slope is said to be critical slope. Okay, the slope is said to be critical slope. This is very much important. Okay, so you need to remember. So when the slope is said to be critical one, so when factor of safety becomes equal to 1. If the value of factor of safety is less than 1, okay, if the value of factor of safety is less than 1, okay, so the slope is unstable. Let me repeat this sentence. The value of factor of safety, so Fs, if it is less than 1 in any case, for example, you are getting 0.8 or 0.9, so then in that condition, we are calling that slope as unstable slope. Okay, unstable slope. Okay, so this is what about the factor of safety. So we have taken the factor of safety and we have seen the factor of safety into various perspective. Okay, so that is nothing but by taking the factor of safety with respect to cohesion, we have taken the factor of safety with respect to angle of internal friction. Okay, So we have taken the factor of safety with respect to shear strength also. So this is very much important concept in the uh, stability of the stove. Okay. So I hope you understood everything, the concepts which I had discussed till now. So the remaining whatever the topics are there will be covered, okay, in the upcoming sessions. So uh, I will wind up this particular session here only. Thank you.